your reaction?
So the verdict was guilty on 4 counts. 1 count was conspiracy to defraud investors, and then guilty on 3 wire fraud counts against investors, and then not guilty on 3 of the counts related to the patients, and then, 4 of the counts related to the patients, and then 3 undecided. I think, based on the testimony and the evidence I heard and saw, I think that's a pretty fair decision. And again, I'm sure the jury, it indicates that they probably spent over 6 days or so deliberating on this, and I think they made the best decision they could make. I think it's a fair decision at this point. I wouldn't, I had a feeling it would probably be, I call it a compromised verdict where they find guilty or not, on some counts not guilty on another. Given their question this morning where they were asking the judge, we are unable to come to a unanimous verdict on 3 counts, I think that indicates that they really wanted to get it right and they were trying to follow the procedure, and they are asking the judge for guidance. Because it was undecided, the prosecution has an opportunity, if they want, to retry her on those 3 counts. It all depends on how hung it was. In other words, how many were for guilty or not guilty. And I'm sure the prosecution is evaluating whether they would try her. But, given the amount of counts that they came where they found her guilty and the exposure, the sentencing that she's looking at, they may not refile and try to go after her on those counts. So sentencing, probably a month or 2 out. I don't know when the judge has set the hearing yet. I don't know if it's been set yet. But there'll be a pre-sentencing report done by the probation department. And just to give you one example, the average sentence in 2020 for 1 count of wire fraud was 21 months. But in this case, because of the amount of money that she was defrauded and the jury found her guilty of, which was $144 million defrauding investors, that significantly increases her exposure to more time. But it's the judge's decision to make as to what the proper sentence would be. And I no doubt she'll appeal it, and she should appeal it. She should stand up for her rights and make sure that the evidence supports each one of these verdicts. And, it's not over until the appeal's over. It's a wake-up call to Silicon Valley, or to anybody out there, any business owner out there who makes statements that are misrepresentations or false or fraudulent. They need to be very careful about what they say to people, make sure that it's truthful and they can back it up, and that their website, the statements they make on websites, and their agreements are truthful. Because wire fraud is no joke, and you're looking at up to 20 years in prison on each count.
And finally,